be real, and I'll give you guys my thoughts and criticism about this video. So watch till the end.
No other prehistoric animals have divided opinions more than the megalodon, mostly about the question whether it still exists or not. While a lot of experts definitely say that these monsters are long gone, there are still some who fervently believe that they still roam the earth.
Yeah, they are pretty gone.
Many
They
sightings
went
of mighty
extinct
fish
by
have
the
been reported for
Miocene
decades, some of
epoch.
which are so compelling that it's really hard not to believe these monsters died out millions of years ago. The number one sighting is particularly curious, so stay tuned for that. Here are 10 sightings of the megalodon that may prove it still
Start the
exists.
cat.
Number 10. An unverified attack. Let's start things off
Yeah,
not
that's
with
the
an
load
actual
of
sighting,
nothing.
but with the possible outcome of a close encounter with a megalodon. A few years ago, a photo surfaced on the internet showing a beached whale. While seeing a beached whale is already strange and sad in itself, there is some...
Okay, guys, let me explain where the beach whale came from, like where that image came from. This beach whale is from a documentary which Discovery Channel made. It was a hoax documentary called, I think the documentary was called Megalodon Lives, something like that. So this was computer generated, this image, because if the megalodon was still alive, whales would be we would be finding dead whales way more often than we find dead whales now. And boats would probably get attacked because they were mistaking it for a whale. So that's why this image is not real. It's from a documentary, a
The whale's
hoax.
entire tail is missing, and it looks like it's been bitten off by something large. The most compelling thing about the photo is that you can clearly see bite marks around where the tail should have been. Now, this is a 70-foot humpback whale, one of the largest animals in the oceans. Who could have done such a thing? Now, while it is true that orcas or killer whales have a habit of hunting and feeding on whales, it isn't known whether they can take on a whale of this size. Plus, experts believe the tail was shorn off in one bite. The only animal with the size and strength to possibly do this is, you guessed it, the mighty megalodon. Or maybe a sperm whale, but they got no reason to go after these guys. Number 9. Unusually young teeth. Still yet another sighting. I promise we're going to get into those in a bit.
Yeah,
There's
young
also
teeth.
something pretty compelling here. This
That's
story has
cat.
something to do with the British ship HMS Challenger, a former small warship that was converted into the first dedicated oceanographic ship with its own laboratories, microscopes, and other scientific equipment on board. Its job was to explore the oceans and discover new animals that have never been previously
Yeah, if the
discovered.
megalodon was
Mostly
still
by dredging
alive,
the bottom of the ocean
we
and
would
see what they can drag
we
up.
would see them more often.
While it was dredging a seabed near Tahiti in 1875, it pulled up a pair of megalodon teeth. Over the years, dating of the teeth has produced mixed results. Some dates fall in the 10,000 to 15,000-year-old range, and that's a far cry from 1.5 million years ago.
Let me explain why that could not be possible. The megalodon was around at the Miocene epoch, which is around 3,000 to 5,000 years before we were fully sapient. So when humans were evolving, megalodon was still around eating giant whales. Like we're just distant relatives of monkeys, but earlier in the family tree. Like we had more hair on our body back then. And also the megalodon, it could not survive in our climate ocean. Like there's too much smaller prey. Like if it was to evolve to be smaller, it would probably be around the size of a great white or a hammerhead. So that's why I think the megalodon could not be real. Now let's keep watching the video.
Supposedly went extinct. If the dating is accurate, megalodons have survived to a far later time than previously thought. And if they made it to as late as 10,000 years ago, who's to say they aren't roaming the oceans today? Number 8. The Google image. Ever since Google Maps was launched,
Yeah,
a lot of
sometimes
people have been
Google
finding strange
Map can
things
be
online.
wrong.
Some are easily explainable, like glitches on the photo or misidentifying certain things or animals to be something
Hey, he
totally
disproved
different.
my point.
An example is one recent viral photo, which many thought to be the proof of the Kraken, which turned out to be, well, just a rock. The image reportedly shows a Google Map.
Look at that picture. It could be like a reef under the water, which looks like the shape of a shark from high up. So I think that's a reef or a rock. So, guys, don't believe everything you see online. Like, that's because the megalodon could be real, it does not mean it is real. Because it went in instinct a long time ago. And also, we found recent evidence of it being not great white shaped. Like it was more stubbed and snouted, like like more bulky. So it isn't like a giant great white shape, but it is like a shark but bulkier.
Image in the Bahamas. In it, you can clearly see the silhouette of an extremely large fish. Could it be a whale shark, the only living animal that can even
That
remotely
could be
match what's in the
possible.
photo? Yeah, it could be. But if you see the photo, there's something a bit off with the shape for it to be a whale shark. Of course, it is a bit premature to declare this to be a megalodon, but what are the other possibilities barring the whale and basking shark? Number 7. The Cape Town photo.
Are we serious right
This
now?
piece of evidence caused both a sensation and an uproar dividing mainstream scientists and those who are keeping an open mind. This very famous photo shows an extremely large fish swimming alongside German U-boats, reportedly taken just off the coast of Cape Town, South Africa during the height of World War II over in 1942. The photo even shows German sailors looking at the monstrous beast as it swims alongside the submarines.
Okay, guys, I'm. I have to explain this one too. See this? This is also from the same documentary which showed the giant whale carcass. And also, if there was a shark moving around the boats and it was that big, um, there would be ripples in the water by it moving. But as you can see by the image, there's no ripples in the water. So is this computer generated? Because if the megalodon was real in this image, pe- people would be freaking out if it was still alive. And also, if whaling companies are whaling whales, then they would try go after megalodons. But we don't see any megalodons in the oceans in the modern day. So that's why the megalodon could not be real. Like this is my reasoning for this image, and it's from the documentary.
Using the length of the subs as a basis, the length of the fish, just from the dorsal fin to the tail, is a whopping 64 feet. Many have claimed that this is undeniable evidence that the megalodon still exists today, or at least one was still alive in 1942. However, a lot also says the photo was faked, and it was the Discovery
Yeah,
Channel, the ones who showed the photo in the documentary about Megs, was behind it all. If the photo is proven to be true, it's definitely a game changer. And it
but it
could prove
isn't.
to change
It's
minds of
fake.
people who have been saying that the
It's
megalodon is
from
already extinct.
Discovery Channel documentary.
Number 6. The David Stead sighting. In 1918, the ichthyologist David Stead recorded a strange unease among the lobstermen of Port Stephens, Australia. Although their livelihoods depended on the sea, the men could not bring themselves to venture out to their favorite crayfish spot near Bond Island for fear of what they had just seen. They had reported seeing a monstrous, ghostly-like shark of such mind-boggling size that apparently no one could agree exactly how big the Leviathan was. The shark was big enough to swallow several lobster pots at least, but the size estimates Stead drew from the workers ranged from 115 feet to an absurd 300-foot minimum. This shark, which
Okay, as you can see from the shark, um, it might have been an albino great white, or it might have been an albino whale shark, or an albino basking shark, and the people who saw it must have estimated the size of the shark, because currently there's no shark about 100 feet long or that big. The biggest the megalodon ever got into was around a double decker bus size. So a fraction of that. This is an old fishing tale. Now let's move on.
like death type, was a remnant of a very real species that swelled the seas for millions of years. Of course, I'm talking about the megalodon. If Seth was right about his size estimates, there may still be a living megalodon, or even a living population out there at sea. Although, I will admit that's a little absurdly big for a megalodon, though. Number 5. On a Mexican beach. Yet another piece of evidence that has divided millions.
Yeah.
I'm a staunch believer in the continued existence of the megalodon, and from this
Guys, it might be real. It's not real.
footage emerged of a beach shark, reportedly in some beach in Mexico. While you could say that this could just be a great white shark, it definitely looks larger than anyone I've seen. And do you know what kind of shark whose size much closely...
Okay, as you can see by this megalodon appear to the people, I think the camera's zoomed out, and I think it's this a dead shark, or they made the shark bigger in the picture to make people believe it's a megalodon, even though it isn't a megalodon. It was probably computer generated, because that looks like it could be a great white there's a bigger specimen, but it's not as big as the megalodon. And guys, if the megalodon was still around, we would have found their nurseries by now, because sharks have nurseries. So I don't think it could be a megalodon.
resembles its megalodon. I think we can all kind of, come to a conclusion on that one now. Of course, skeptics will always tell anybody who would listen that it's just a beach great white shark.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There are no great whites that can even possibly reach that size. That's according
What
to
the-
research at least. Then there are...
If it was a great white, it's rare for them to reach bigger sizes, but they do once in a while reach bigger sizes. So I think they could be a great white, because sometimes they do grow pretty big. Like there was one found which was around 17 feet long. Let's continue the video, everyone.
People who would say that the size as reported was greatly exaggerated. But then again, video evidence doesn't lie. But as they say...
Video evidence does not lie. But you literally said in the last few like the boat, like the World War II megalodon picture, it could have been edited. You said something like that. So you're disproving your point from the last number. Let's move on.
No amount of evidence, no matter how convincing, is enough for skeptics. I guess someone will need to catch a knight alive, or at least capture footage of one in the wild. And speaking of footage, number 4. The Black Demon. The Black Demon shark is an enormous black shark whose territory is said to be just off the coast of Mexico's Baja California peninsula. In recent times, several local fishermen have reported seeing the black monstrosity. The black demon is said to be 20 to 60 feet long, weighing anywhere between 50 to 100,000 pounds. It is said to resemble a great white, but with very dark coloration and a truly monstrous tail. In 2009,
Okay, everyone. About the black demon shark. It could be real, but it's just probably a melanistic great white shark, which locals that area, which had a lot of food growing up because animals like which get a lot of food grow bigger because of of the of the carbs and the fibers because your body needs like nutrients to grow to a certain size. So that's how I can explain those two.
The TV
Let's
series
listen.
Monster Quest dispatched a film crew to the Sea of Cortez to investigate the claims from American sport fisherman Eric Mack, who was sailing off the coast of Baja in July of 2008 when he encountered an unidentified creature that met the legend's description. The ocean-dwelling monstrosity, if it exists, has been suspected of being an oversized gray white, perhaps
Yeah, that makes
rubicund,
sense.
which is the development of dark-colored pigment in the skin, or the opposite of albinism. But of course, the more popular theory is that the supposedly extinct megalodon still roams the coast of Baja. So, swimmers beware. Number 3. The Coast Guard footage. Aside from sailors, who obviously spend most of their lives at
Let's
sea,
see
the
what
guys who are
he
most
has to
likely to
say.
catch footage of the mighty mech would be the Coast Guard. On their rescue helicopters, they would have the perfect vantage point to spot anything lurking below the waves. And in this rather controversial footage, they might have accidentally found the elusive megalodon. The Brazilian Coast Guard caught sight of the monstrous fish while attempting a rescue at sea. At first, the Coast Guard officers didn't notice the giant shadow swimming past them beneath the waves, but after reviewing the footage later on, they couldn't believe their eyes. If the size
Let's
of the
see the
shadow was
footage.
of any indication, the animal was upwards of 60 feet long. Of course, it could have been another large fish, primarily the whale shark, but there is one glaring flaw in that assumption. Whale sharks don't swim anywhere near Brazil. Furthermore, the footage has been analyzed by countless experts, and there's no way that it could have been doctored. With this, the video has been touted as the best evidence for the continued existence of this beastly shark. Number 2. The Zane Grey sighting.
Okay, let's hear
Charles
about
Zane
this
Grey
one.
was an American author and dentist best known for his popular adventure novels and stories associated with the Western genre in literature and the arts. He idealized the American frontier. Riders of the Purple Sage was his best-selling book. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. What does an award-winning novelist with a penchant for writing westerns have anything to do with megalodons? Well, he believes he actually saw one, or rather a shark too big to be, and to quote him, a harmless white shark.
Okay, let me explain why he did not probably see a megalodon. If he did see a megalodon, it's probably not a megalodon. It's because often in nature, um, there's misidentification for species in the wild. Like in Canada, like people thought cougars did not exist here for a couple of years, like a long time since the 80s, I think, and then recently, we found cougars, so it could be a mistaken identity. You could have probably seen a very large great white shark. So that's my explanation.
Wrong words. In the novel Megalodon, Fact or Fiction, Rick Emmer writes that Gray claimed to have seen one of the man-eating monsters of the South Pacific, a shark much longer than his 30-40-foot boat. Apparently, the shark was yellow and green, with a square head, immense pectoral fins, and a few white spots.
Oh, it's that shark. I forgot what shark is, but it's not a megalodon. Yeah, that sounds like another species of shark.
It does have to be stated that Gray himself didn't say that he thought what he saw was a megalodon. But what other shark could there be? Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on, guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch
For
my
false
videos every day
information.
anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. The Great Barrier Reef sighting. The
Cap.
Great Barrier Reef is one of the world's largest marine habitats, serving as home to millions of fishes and other sea creatures. Although most of it is readily accessible, scientists believe that they still have much to learn about the reef. In fact, there still may be a lot of unknown species left to be discovered. In line with that, the Great Barrier Reef may also be the perfect
Let's
home
see
for
the
many
image.
species long thought extinct. In the 1960s, along the outer edges of Australia's Great Barrier Reef, an 85-foot ship experienced engine trouble, which forced them to weigh anchor for repairs. Although the men subsequently refused to openly report what they had seen for fear of public ridicule, the captain and his crew later told friends of sighting of an immense shark as it moved slowly past their ship. Whitish in color, they were awed by its size. It was as long, if not longer, than their boat. Experienced men of the sea, they too were certain the creature was not a whale. So, what was it? Other writers, such as author Rick Emmer, suggest it could have been megalodon. Did any of these sightings?
For that one, I think because of the depth of the water, then they see it underneath the water. It looked bigger than it actually was. And also, don't subscribe to YouTube channels like these, which spit out false information. So, like, look for the information yourself and clarify if it's real, and if there's facts with the topic, that's probably true. And guys, inform yourself so you don't fall for clickbait like this. And see you all later, and subscribe to H Gamer Reload. And more videos like this video which you just watched are coming to the channel. See you all later.